everyone, welcome back to day 8 of the 12 days of cast-ons. So today I'm casting on a cardigan. Last year Mandy of Mouse with Charms did the birthstone collection, so each month she created a new yarn, a tonal and a variegated, and these were basically based on the birthstones for each month. So I picked up the aquamarine variegated, which is this gorgeous pale blue. It's absolutely beautiful. And then I picked up the sapphire variegated, which is this gorgeous dark blue. I absolutely love the sapphire one. And I picked these two up for a very specific reason. This one, sapphire, my birthstone, aquamarine, my sister's birthstone. So the idea behind them was I was going to do something, and it was going to be, you know, a little tribute to me and my sister. I was very lucky that we both have a, you know, months where the colours go together quite well. We have 2 shades of blue. So I am going to be doing a striped cardigan. I was going to look at potentially doing something where, you know, it's like a bit of micro striping, so they're really woven in together, but I want to show off the colours a bit with a bit of a thicker stripe. So I saw the Crosshill cardigan, and I've had it in my favourites for a while now, and I decided near the end of last year, you know what, that's going to be the one that I'm going to use for the sister cardigan. So what I've decided to do is, there's lace sections on it, on the cardigan, and they are going to be the ones where I use the 2 colours. And then there's like a main colour that goes through. And for that, I have chose this Yarnsmith's Merino Sock Superwash. And I've chosen it in a very pale grey. I wanted it to be a neutral colour that's completely different to the blues, so that you know, you can see the connection between the 2 blues. But at the same time, you know, I wanted it to be able to go with them. Yeah, I didn't want anything blue, because I was thinking, oh, I could do like a middle shade of blue and that'd tie them in quite well. But then I was like, no, because I want the 2 blues to be the birthstone yarns to sort of link them together. So that's why I thought the grey would go quite nicely. Yeah, so the colours that I've chosen. So this will be the main colour with the stripes, and this will just be solid stripes. And then these will be the lace sections that get striped, and I'll alternate it. So for example, contrast colour stripe one, I'll do this. Then the next time I've got to do a lace section, I'll do the dark blue. And I'll just do that, going back and forth throughout it. What I'm thinking that I'm probably going to do with the cardigan is I'm going to do the sleeves first when I do it, and then do the body. The idea with that is that I can effectively use as much of the yarn as I can in the body, and I'm not going to have much left over. That's what I want to do. So yeah, I'm going to get started on that. Checked I do have the needles in, so I'm going to go wind this up, and then, oh sorry, you know, skein it up. No, this is a skein. I'm going to wind it into a cake. And then I'm gonna go and get started. This is the first time I've ever actually used this yarn, used a Yarnsmith's yarn. I think it came out last year, and I was sort of trying to limit what I bought last year, so I only bought what I needed. So yeah, I've not tried this yet. I'm excited to try the Yarnsmiths because I've heard some good things about it, and it's not an expensive yarn for what you're getting. So I'm excited to try it and see how it gets on. So I spent a day casting on what I am calling my sister cardigan. As I said, it is called the Crosshill cardigan, but I'm using the yarns that'll match up to the birthstones of me and my little sister. So I've managed to get both of the colours in for one time. So it's bunched up on the needle, so you're not going to be able to see much, but sort of, it's getting there. It's going to be something like that a bit. I'm not going to go into too many details because I think it is a paid-for pattern, but yeah, on the back you'll be able to see it better, and I'm really liking it. Originally I wanted to put a really pale grey in because I wanted to be able to wear, you know, in lighter seasons as well as like darker seasons, and I think going for like winter and spring and stuff like that, and I think going for a lighter colour, it's easier to cover over than darker colour. That's just my rationale behind it. Yeah, so I was worried that the grey was going to be too close to the aquamarine, but no, you can see it very clearly. Like obviously the darker one you can see it even clearer, but you can clearly see that's a completely different colour. It's a blue. It's absolutely gorgeous, like an icy blue is what I'd call it, and then you've got the sapphire in there as well. And yeah, it's absolutely working well. I was really nervous and intimidated. That's the back of it. Really I think I'm a words, Abby. I was really intimidated by the lacy sections. I've not done loads of lacy work, but you know what, the pattern, the way they describe the stitches, really good, and I found it quite easy. It's now to the point where I can do the lacy sections without necessarily having to look at the pattern. The only reason at the moment I'm looking for the pattern is obviously because we're getting it bigger and bigger, and hopefully soon, I think I've got another stripe or so, we'll be getting ready to split for the sleeves on my size. And another thing was I measured myself to see what size I was going to need. I am not skinny. I'm definitely nowhere near skinny. I'm nowhere near even average weight and build and things like that, and I am working on it. Weighing myself every Saturday, making a lot better health choices. I'm really working with my gastro consultant, trying to figure out how I can eat healthy and at the same time not set off symptoms and stuff like that, and you know, how to sort of deal with how my gastro symptoms impact on my eating. Anyway, long story short, I'm overweight. That's it. Bigger size. I need a bigger size to do clothes with knitting and crochet, and I think there's like about 3 or 4 sizes bigger than me at least in this pattern than the one I needed, and I was blown away by that because that does really show, because like I'm not near the beginning of the sizes. It's got loads more sizes down smaller than mine, but I'm not at the very end. I'd probably say maybe 2/3 of the way through, which I think that's just absolutely amazing because it really shows that, you know, it's a very inclusive pattern, and it fits for all sizes, because we, you know, it's not just let's make sure things fit for plus size people, let's make sure you know, things are going to fit for skinnier people as well. You know, it needs to go on all those ends, and that's another thing that's really impressed me about the pattern. But yeah, it's written really well, yeah, and I've not had an issue with it at all. I found it quite, it is definitely an intermediate pattern, but I found it quite enjoyable and not too difficult. I am cutting off the colours when I've finished using them, but the grey I'm going to be carrying all down, just because I think if I've got 3 balls on at once, it is going to start getting tangled with each other. So I'm keeping the grey connected the whole way through, and then just adding in the colours when I need it. But that's where we are with that. Yeah, and I'll be picking it up probably not for a while, because at the end of this month I'm going to be only working on, like, obviously one knit project at a time, one crochet project, and one sock project, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it might take me a bit of time to get around to doing this again, but I really love how it's turning out, and I'm really made up to get it started and get working on it, and hopefully sometime this year my sister cardigan will be complete. Let me know if you've ever done anything like that, where you've picked colours because it's got like some sentiment reason for an item. Because yeah, as soon as I saw the birthstone collection, I knew both mine and my sister's birthstones are bluish, and I was like, that's gonna be the perfect tribute. But anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope you're all staying safe, taking care, and I will speak to you all very, very soon. Bye.